Writing emails can sometimes feel daunting, especially when you are unsure of how to start or what to say. Whether you're a beginner or someone looking to refine their skills, here's a guide that can help you out to craft your email with confidence and ease. In this video, I've put together a list where you will find a lot of phrases and sentences that you can definitely use while writing an email. And not only that, I'll also walk you through various parts of an email, from greetings to sign-offs, with both formal and informal options to suit your different contexts, so that you can also know that what to use and when to use. Going ahead, you will also find a lot of examples and explanations so that you can also know how to put them in your conversation. So let's get started without wasting any time. So let's open my mail. So here's my mail. And as you can see, the first thing over here is to. It's a basic thing. I believe that you must have known this. So if you're going to write someone an email, you would require an email ID, right? For example, if you're trying to call me, you would require my number. And if you don't have, you won't be able to dial the number. It's same. So you would require the person's email ID if you're trying to send him or her an email. So the first thing is to, where you will put recipient's email ID. Now here, if you're trying to write me an email, then you would put my email ID. So basically here we write recipient's mail ID, and not only one, you can add many mail IDs here if there are a lot of recipients. And next comes CC. CC is nothing but carbon copy. The full form of CC is carbon copy. Here we add people whom we want to keep in the loop of our conversation. So for example, if you want to keep someone updated about your latest conversation or the conversation that you recently had with someone over an email, you would add their mail ID in this section. So here again, you can add a lot of mail IDs, but please remember, here you are just trying to keep the person in the loop. Just keep informed. Okay, you see this email, there's no required to reply until and unless it's necessary. You just stay updated. That's it. Next comes BCC. BCC, the full form of BCC is blind carbon copy. At some organizations, using BCC is strictly prohibited. You want to know why? Because if we are adding someone's mail ID here, then it's, we are just trying to keep the person hidden from everybody in the list. People in the to and CC section will not be able to see BCC, but BCC will be able to see all of them. One more thing, if you're adding 10 email IDs, for example, in this section, then they won't be able to see one another. So yeah, this is a very private and secret thing, especially when you are trying to keep someone hidden from everybody. You just don't want others to know that you have sent this person an email. That's it. And then here comes the subject section. Your subject should be short, clear, and attractive, to the point, so that people can understand what you are trying to write in this email and what's the urgency of your emails. Based on your subject, sometimes I've seen people opening your emails, otherwise they just keep ignoring emails if the subject is not clear and interesting enough. Also remember one thing, you can't write your entire subject in caps because that sounds rude. You can do one thing. If you want to write in caps, then you can start the words with a capital letter, but don't write the entire word in capital letter. Now comes the body of our email. We will start with greetings. You can start your formal greetings by saying dear, title, and then the last name. For example, dear Mr. Smith. Use these greetings while addressing someone in a professional and a formal way, especially if you have not met them before or have a professional relationship. Next, to whom it may concern. You can use it for your formal or general request or application. It is when you don't know the name of the person or maybe the gender of the person. Dear sir or ma'am, it's similar to whom it may concern. Again, here you don't know the name of the recipient. Let's start with informal greetings. You can start with hi and then the name of the person. For example, hi John. So when you are emailing your colleague or maybe a friend whom you know well in a less formal setting or in a casual setting, you can definitely use this one. Next, hello. Hello and then the first name. For example, hello Sarah. It's more formal than hi, but still friendly and casual. You can also use hey and then the first name. For example, hey Mike. It's tremendously friendly and casual way to greet someone. And this one is perfect for close friends and colleagues. Now let's see how you can open an email. If you want to start an email with a positive note, then you can start with this. I hope this email finds you well. Next, I am writing to inform you about. This is when you want to convey an important information. For example, I am writing to inform you about the upcoming changes to our policy. I am reaching out to you regarding. This is when you want to specify the purpose of your email. For example, I am reaching out to you regarding your recent inquiry about our services. I hope you're having a productive week. This is when you want to add a formal and a positive touch to your email. For informal openings, you can use, I hope you're doing well. This is when you are trying to start your email in a friendly manner. For colleagues and friends, you can definitely use this one to start your email. How are things going? This is to check in with a friend or a colleague. Just wanted to check in with you. Use this when you're following up with someone informally. Let's work on stating the purpose. I am writing to request. And then state your purpose. When you are trying to formally request something, then you can use this phrase. For example, I'm writing to request a copy of the latest report. Similarly, you can use I am writing to inquire about. This is when you need a certain information. For example, I'm writing to inquire about the status of my application. When you formally want to describe or highlight an issue, use this phrase. I would like to bring to your attention and then the problem. For example, I would like to bring to your attention a discrepancy in our billing. Please be informed that. This is when we want to formally inform someone about an information. Example, please be informed that our meeting has been rescheduled to next Friday. Some more phrases. I wanted to ask if. This is when you are trying to ask someone informally about something. For example, I wanted to ask if you are available for a meeting tomorrow. Just a casual request. I'm writing to let you know. This is when you want to share information informally. For example, I'm writing to let you know that the event has been moved to next week. Just a quick note to say. Use this for brief and informal updates. For example, just a quick note to say, I have finished the report. Now let's learn how we can work on providing information. Here you will see that I'm talking about attachments. Now, if you want to attach something, any document or maybe a contract or a report you are talking about in your email, then it's very important that you attach it. Now, there's a particular place from where you can attach things you are talking about, and this is the place. See, here you can see kind of a clip, right? So here you need to click, you would go to your file, and from there you need to choose your file, attach it before you forget, and then you can write about your attachments. So there's a hack. Please remember, before talking about your attachments or before writing, please find attached. Please attach the file. I've often seen students not attaching the files, especially when they have mentioned that they have attached something. So to avoid this error, you can attach it before you write about the attachment. Okay? And the first one is, please find attached. Formally, when we are trying to talk about that we have attached something, we can use this one. For example, please find attached the revised contract for your review. Next, I would like to inform you that this is when you are formally trying to convey an information. For example, I would like to inform you that our office will be closed next Monday. Next, as discussed in our previous correspondence, this is when you want to refer a previous conversation. For example, as discussed in our previous correspondence, we will go ahead with the project. According to our records. This is when you are talking about a documented information. For example, according to our records, your account is up to date. Now let's learn some informal phrases. I've attached. For example, I've attached the draft of the proposal. This is when you are talking about your attachment informally. Next, just letting you know that. Just letting you know that the meeting has been moved to 3 p.m. This is when you are giving someone a casual notification. As we talked about before, this is when you are referring to any of your earlier conversations. For example, as we talked about before, I've made the necessary changes to the document. It looks like this is when you are talking about any informal observations. For example, it looks like this is when you are talking about any informal observations. For example, it looks like we might need more time to complete the project. Now, when you have to make a request, instead of just can you can come up with really nice phrases. Let's learn that. Could you please? Could you please is when you are asking something formally. For example, could you please send me the updated file by tomorrow? I would appreciate it if you could. This is when you are making a formal request. For example, I would appreciate it if you could review the document and provide feedback. For formal requests, you can also use may I request you to. For example, may I request you to confirm your attendance at the meeting? You can also start your sentence by kindly provide if you want something. For example, kindly provide the necessary documents at your earliest convenience. For informal requests, you can simply start with can you. For example, can you send me the file? Or you can also say, do you mind? For example, do you mind checking this for me? This is when you need a help. Or you can also say, would you be able to at the beginning of the sentence? For example, would you able to help me with this task? Use this for polite but informal requests. Also, you can start by saying, can you help me with? For example, can you help me with organizing the event? Again, here you are trying to seek someone's help. Now it's time to offer our assistance, or it's time to tell others that if they need our assistance, we are always there to help them. Let's see some phrases to offer assistance. If you require any further information, please do not hesitate to contact me. Should you need any assistance, please feel free to reach out. I am available to discuss this further if needed. For informal offers, you can say, let me know if you need anything. Or you can also say, if you have any questions, just ask. You can also say, I'm here to help if you need it. Now it's time to close your email. And for closing, there are some particular sentences that sounds polite and that works really well. Let's learn. If you want to end your email politely with gratitude, you can use this one. Thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to your prompt response. This is to indicate that you are awaiting a reply. Please let me know if you have any questions. This is when you want to offer any further assistance. I await your reply. Use this to formally indicate you are waiting for a response. Informal closings are pretty easy. For example, you can simply end by saying thanks, or you can also say talk soon, or looking forward to hearing from you. Sometimes without even a closing sentence, we just end by saying best wishes, comma, and then our name. As easy as that. Okay, now we'll be knowing how to sign off. For formal sign-offs, you can use sincerely, best regards, yours faithfully, or respectfully. For informal sign-offs, you can use best, regards, cheers, take care. Now, I have already shown you how you can attach your file, but if you don't want to write the sign-off and then your name again and again for your each and every mail, then you can avoid this by simply going to the signature part, and here you can write whatever you want to add as a sign-off. For example, yours faithfully, your name, your designation, the name of your company then, and then the designation, and then your contact number. So all this, if you just want to keep repeating, then you can go to the signature part, you can add all of it, and from now onwards, whenever you are sending an email, this will just go by default. Okay? So this is what you can do. Now, that's not it. We are still left with something very important. We've got something extra for you guys. Generally, while writing an email, we don't use any short forms. For example, when you are typing the quiz on WhatsApp, you generally write BCZ. This is what we don't do when we are writing an email. Or we don't use any contracted forms, informal contraction or formal contractions when we are writing an email. For example, we don't use don't, couldn't, wouldn't, won't, doesn't, or we don't use kinda, sorta, wanna, gonna when we are writing an email, okay? Please remember, this is a formal way of communicating with someone. So there are, yes, some abbreviations that we can use, and this is what I just want to show you right now. So pause this video and check the abbreviations that we use while writing an email. And it's time for some reminders. Do not capitalize an entire sentence while writing an email. Avoid using any short forms or contracted forms. Do not use the colors that's just coming to your mind. You can't use red, pink, green when you're writing an email, or you can just change the color of the font. Please remember, it's a formal communication, so don't use multicolor. Without underlining the context of your mail, do not underline a sentence or keep it bold. You need to know to whom you are writing your mail. Please remember, your mail is not a place to play with fonts and its styles. So please stick to Arial, Calibri, and Times New Roman. Do not add any emojis while writing an email. Also, please remember, when you're having a face-to-face conversation with someone, they are able to observe your gestures or your body language. So when you are using a sarcasm or adding a humor in your sentence, they are able to understand it. But here, your email is not a place to do so. So please avoid any sarcasm or humor. You should spell check your email before sending it. Take care of your grammar, sentence structures, and everything. Proofread the mail before sending. Also, focus on punctuation, spacing, and if you want to keep it clean and clear, you can also use pointers and bullets. It makes it look perfect. So please, remember all of it before sending an email. And that's it. I need to wrap it up over here. I know that it was a really lengthy one, but you're here. I just wanted to show you how to write an email perfectly. For beginners, I think that this class is just going to be awesome. And if you think so, then do let me know that in the comment section. If you think that this class is informative and if you want to share it with others, please go ahead and just do it. Let them have a really in-depth session on how to write an email, and please give them this opportunity to learn from me. And not only that, if you're new to my class and if you want more such English learning contents, you can also subscribe this channel for more such amazing English learning contents, and you can like and subscribe it. I'll see you all again in my next class. Until then, stay connected and keep practicing. Love you.